The golfing influencer is really famous in the sport. Even though her time as a pro golfer didn't go well, she found her own special place in the sport and became the most engaged golfer online. She has more Instagram followers than any other golfer, even more than Tiger Woods. But when you're super popular, you also get a lot of criticism, and it seems like she's tired of dealing with all those negative comments. People have been upset with her for various reasons. For example, she's been criticized for not taking golf seriously and for wearing revealing clothes that people think are inappropriate for the sport. However, is this enough reason? Let's find out. The main issue seems to stem from her defense of the events that occurred at a live tournament called the Watering Hole. This tournament, which took place in Adelaide, was considered successful but received heavy criticism from golf fans. Many fans were unhappy with the event's fun and party atmosphere. They had hoped the tournament would prioritise the game itself rather than turning into a high school party scene. What was meant to be a golfing event transformed into something resembling a high school party, with people getting drenched in water and consuming excessive amounts of alcohol, which many felt wasn't appropriate for a golf tournament. People were criticising the whole situation, but Paige had a different view. She was tired of people disliking the fun so much. She decided to speak up about it. The golf star expressed that people should be able to have fun at sports events, and these events shouldn't be as boring as some make them out to be. She also mentioned that the event had an electric atmosphere. She also posted a video on Twitter sharing her thoughts about the whole situation, but the video was later taken. She made it clear that even though it was taken down from her Twitter, people still heard her message loud and clear. Yet, they weren't happy about it. She mentioned that people usually expect adults, especially in sports, to act more seriously. Golf, in particular, tends to have this image of being a boring sport for older white men, but Paige believed it didn't have to be that way. Just because we're adults with responsibilities and jobs, it doesn't mean we can't have fun at these events. She acknowledged that as an adult, you've got responsibilities, maybe a job you don't like, and on top of that, it feels like there's no room for fun. Paige pointed out that the main issue people seemed to have with the event was that there was too much fun. What she found puzzling was, when did having fun become such a bad thing? She argued that having fun should be allowed at sports events and encouraged. Especially at sporting events, she believed fun should be promoted. She questioned why we go to these events and what's wrong with making sports more fun and interesting. Something else she mentioned didn't sit well with fans and led to a wave of criticism. Up to that point in the video, everything she said was quite reasonable, and most of you would likely agree. However, her next statement sparked controversy in the now deleted video. In the video, Paige remarked that golf wasn't as serious as many people like to believe. While some view it as a lofty pursuit, she contended that it's essentially just a sport and shouldn't be taken too seriously. She explained that golfers aren't performing life-saving or heart-changing actions. They're essentially playing a game with a ball, hitting it around with sticks, and aiming to get it into a hole. In a nutshell, she emphasized that golf is just that, golf without an overly weighty significance. Although her point had validity, her comments stung some ardent golf enthusiasts, as if her presence at the tournament wasn't already at a point of contention. Her remarks further fueled disapproval among golf fans. Her straightforward perspective, while accurate, provided a reason for some to criticize her. The die-hard fans of golf, who take the game seriously, felt a sense of disapproval. Despite their truth, they see golf as a more profound endeavour, and her remarks seem to undermine that viewpoint. Her words were a reminder that golf is, after all, a game of chasing a ball, hitting it with clubs, and aiming for a hole. Towards the end of the video, she concluded by stating that whether people loved her or hated her, one undeniable fact remained. The event was undeniably successful and, most importantly, enjoyable for all. She believed this was a positive outcome for the sport, ultimately contributing to its overall vitality. Whether you're a fan of LIV or not, it's hard to deny that the event looked like a lot of fun, and overall, it's a positive thing for the game of golf. But her comments about the tournament weren't the only things that upset some traditional golf fans. As always with Paige, her outfit became a topic of discussion. This time, it was the top she wore in the video. It's almost a given that golf fans always have something to say about what Paige chooses to wear, and unfortunately, It's often not very nice. She often dresses in a way that some golf fans consider too provocative and revealing. She's been quite vocal about supporting women in sports wearing whatever they feel comfortable in, as long as it doesn't violate the game's rules. She even criticised the dress codes prohibiting women from wearing leggings or tops with deep necklines during tours. However, this time, the top she wore in the video about the live tournament caused a considerable uproar. The controversy wasn't about the level of exposure, it was actually about the text on her top. The shirt conveyed that she possessed both a great sense of humour and impressive attributes, albeit in more casual language, which was quite amusing, but most golf fans wouldn't share the same sentiment. The wording on her crop top sparked significant drama within the golf community, further highlighting the ongoing discussion about her attire choices. Not everyone had such an intense reaction to her clothing choices though. Some fans actually complimented her shirt and expressed agreement with her on Twitter. Many other fans shared similar sentiments. Speaking of her clothing choices and the backlash they've received, it's not just during tournaments that Paige faces criticism. Her Instagram account is a prime platform for this kind of scrutiny. Following her departure from professional golf, Paige experienced an astonishing surge in popularity through her Instagram account. She frequently shares snapshots of herself both on the golf course and in more relaxed settings at home, and her fans greatly appreciate this content. Her follower count has climbed to over 3.7 million, and her internet fame even earned her the title of the world's sexiest woman by Maxi magazine. However, not all reactions to her posts have been positive. Many golf traditionalists take issue with Paige's presence on social media. They argue that she over-sexualizes herself and allege that her popularity stems solely from showcasing her physical appearance. This perspective seems somewhat puzzling, especially considering Paige's remarkable skill as a golfer. It appears that her appearance is the crux of the criticism she faces. It's worth noting that Paige has been candid about struggling with depression, partly due to the backlash she receives. She has shared how, as a 22-year-old, she felt devalued and wrestled with feelings of inadequacy. This raises an important question. Why does displaying her body attract so much hate? It's an issue that perplexes her, particularly considering that male athletes frequently share similar content on social media without facing the same degree of criticism. This brings us to another reason why some golf fans harbour animosity towards her. Paige has pointed out the double standard in how male athletes are treated when they share images of their bodies. While male athletes often receive admiration and encouragement, she has been told to stop over-sexualizing herself, accompanied by the assertion that no one will take her seriously. The double standard regarding how male and female athletes are treated in terms of showing off their bodies is a recurring issue. It's not a new phenomenon, and it's worth questioning why the same logic doesn't apply to women. Paige Spinarac raised this question, attempting to shed light on the unequal treatment female athletes often face compared to their male counterparts. She used examples of male athletes who proudly display their well-built physiques on social media and magazine covers, without facing the same level of criticism. Paige intended to demonstrate that male athletes also benefit from their looks, just like female athletes. To challenge the prevailing notions that female athletes are setting back the progress of women or over-sexualizing themselves, Paige created a video in collaboration with PointBet Sportsbook. The video showcased various shirtless male athletes on their social media accounts and magazine covers, highlighting how they too leverage their bodies and look for promotion. By doing this, she aimed to debunk the notion that female athletes were solely responsible for such perceptions. Despite her sincere efforts to confront these issues and encourage a shift in perspective, traditionalist fans still directed hate towards Paige. She was subjected to body shaming and continued to face criticism, even when she addressed and attempted to rectify the misconceptions. Unfortunately, the negativity she encounters seems to persist, particularly whenever she expresses herself through her clothing choices or speaks out on matters close to her heart. In essence, it appears that the resistance and criticism Paige Spinarac faces from certain fans stem from a complex interplay of factors, including societal norms, entrenched perspectives, and differing perceptions of female athletes in sports. Her efforts to challenge these notions and promote equality have met with both support and backlash, underscoring the challenges women in sports can encounter when pushing against prevailing stereotypes.